if you'd like to be on and talk about things, check the paper, see if there's any good local paragraphs. Yeah, not too much there. Beaver Falls, no, we don't care about that. Obituaries. No, I don't see too much in terms of local paragraphs. It does take some getting used to, and this change in the newspaper, where on a couple days of the week, Monday being one of them, there's no local section. It's all mixed together. And I don't mind it being mixed in the A section and on the front page and all of that. I always thought it was, for years, they were, you could have 10 people murdered in Dexter and they would have put it on the back page. I mean, years ago, I always thought that was kind of different news judgment. But so I have no problem with mixing it together, but I guess why get rid of the local news section and you're still keeping like the fluff news and currents? Just wire stories about people's new souffle or new exercise system or something like that. That's what I would question, and as a longtime consumer of the product, don't we have a right to question that? I guess we do. I would say you would want a local. There's nothing wrong with putting the local news in the first section, but lesser news of a local nature should go in its own section if you're going to have sections. I just think having. I'll tell you, I don't know, maybe some people read the fluff sections and all of that. I don't. So, but I'm kind of old school. I really am. 755-1240, the phone number. Good afternoon. You're on the air.
Good afternoon.
What's up?
Not much. They gave an explanation of that not too long ago.
Yeah, it's to save money, isn't it?
Well, to save money and the fact that they like the paper, they like 50-50. 50% ads and 50% news content. So they cut back just like the TV stations.
I know, but how do you turn that ship around in terms of, you just continue, we're seeing it with the national news magazines, with many papers. Where does it go? Do these things just hang on until they can't any longer?
Well, there's a good article in Time Magazine this week about that same thing you're talking about. And if you look at it, it's rather true. Once they started giving away the product for free, in other words, they based their sales on advertisers, then advertisers actually control the news content, which is a dangerous thing because it's your freedom of speech is at stake here. But
well, we see that locally, obviously.
Oh, I mean, because for years newspapers and magazines and stuff, the people actually controlled it by purchasing that product. In other words, the 50 cents you paid for the product.
Right.
So that they could tell an advertiser, we don't need your money because these people are paying for the product. Well, now they're not paying for the product. That's the whole gist of the story in Time Magazine, and I have to agree with it that eventually, if newspapers fail and magazines fail, then that means the others are going to fail too because they're not going to have the content, you're not going to have the reporters. Unless these internet sites are going to hire reporters, and at this point they don't. No,
they seem to be, some people call them...
I don't know if you remember last year when all the TV stations had on all the heads of the oil companies giving their side of the story why oil prices were ridiculous.
Right.
High, okay? They control it because they were paying for the product. That's the danger there, because you only heard their side. Oh, they blamed it on the speculators and so on. We all know better now.
Right. Well, yeah, I agree. What has happened is that in certain subject areas, the presence of ad dollars is so large that you don't dare do stories about certain industries or individuals. And
I think we've seen that on a local level, which is very dangerous when important news stories get covered up because the news story is about the person that's paying the bill.
Right. Right. Well, and the same is true here. Listen, I mean, we are not going to, we believe in free speech and discourse, but we're not going to go after a client
right.
in this business. We're just not.
So in other words, you're controlled by your advertisers. And there are a lot of them now. So
yeah, to a great extent you are, yeah.
So the only way you're going to get free speech...
Well, there isn't really free speech around anymore. I mean...
But there would be if you were paying for it. If the populace was paying for it, there would be free speech.
But people won't pay for it.
Well, then they're not going to have free speech.
Right.
It's as simple as that. Because if the advertisers control, they're going to control the news content. That's it.
Yeah.
So all that stuff you learned in journalism class years ago in Missouri, throw it right out because it doesn't mean anything.
I learned a lot of things in Missouri.
There you go. Isn't that where you went? Wasn't it Missouri?
Some of it had to do with journalism, but some of it had to do with other things.
I hear you.
That kind of stuff. So, I mean, I agree. I mean, I've said that for a long time, and it's unfortunate. And listen, I mean, I'm not sitting there castigating others. They all got to earn a living, and you got to do what you got to do. And we do what we have to do. I mean,
there's a price you pay when you think you're getting something for nothing.
I mean, the fact of the matter is, who advertised today? Eric Schwartz. He's a nice guy. I like Eric. He bought ads. There's no way I'm going to sit there and make fun of him as a lawyer.
Oh,
I mean,
there you go.
You know, even if I think he is, does need to have some chiding and stuff.
Right.
So it just, yes, you are a captive of that. I mean, you try to do what you can to raise issues, but it's not always that easy.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, you're right on that. What else is going on?
Not much, just enjoying the weather. I'm going to get back out there as soon as I get done, hang up.
Now, let me tell you something. On Wednesday, when it's 55 degrees and the snow's melting to beat the band, do you think you'll hear anybody down at Harvey's saying, yeah, this is an old-fashioned winter?
Probably not at Harvey's. Other places you probably hear it, though. I think they're going to say, thank God we got this because it's been a long winter.
Just like the old days. And I remember those, we're getting our January thaw in February. I've already heard that statement.
Yeah, and we didn't get one this year.
Right.
Right. So nice to enjoy this.
Exactly.
I actually washed the car for the first time in months.
You down at the arcade, are you?
No, I'm heading back down there, stepped home for lunch.
I was down there this morning. I was going to stop at...
I know they're closed for a week. It's screwing everybody up.
Yeah, but they need a rest, too.
Oh, yeah, they're down in Florida. I don't play. Been a long winter.
Old-fashioned or not, it's been a long winter. And we still got a lot left. We shouldn't get too giddy about it.
Oh, no, but you know what? You really appreciate a day like today, don't you?
You certainly do, and we're glad to be there. So, all right.